Morning, guys. I hope you're having a good morning. If I'm not actually sitting here talking to myself because this is a new YouTube channel and you somehow landed on my page and found my video, welcome and thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk about how I got demoted and fired all within the last couple months at this company that I've been working with for about 3 years now. And kind of talk about the struggles I've been through. Maybe it'll help somebody if I talk about it. Um, yeah, so I've been with this company since 2017. I want to say 2017, the beginning of it or so, and I got promoted to a leadership role doing quality assurance. And then after that, I was there for a little over a year doing quality assurance, and I got offered a supervisor position, which was $4 more an hour. It was $17.50 an hour, which is a lot more than I was actually making. So I went ahead and took the opportunity, but they messed with my pay. Like, I actually didn't get the pay until after they demoted all of us and the supervisors, which was really weird. But so we were like kind of fighting to get the pay. I actually got my pay reduced down to by $1.50 for a whole pay period, and they never paid me back on that either. Like, it was awful. Like, this company was horrible to work for. I would never recommend anybody having to work there, anybody having to go through it. It's not worth it. They treat their employees like crap. They are cheap AF. Like, bad. But so I was a supervisor. I loved it. I loved working with my team. I had a good rapport with my team, and my stats weren't the highest, on there, but I definitely didn't have the lowest stats for scores and things like that. But I did have zero attrition, which is, I didn't fire anybody because I believe that you can coach people and train people and help them succeed rather just than throwing them out on their butt and leaving them with no money to pay for their bills and for their kids, or everybody's got stuff going on. So as long as they're not stealing money from the company, and they're trying and they're actively trying, I don't believe that you should fire somebody. I don't. I guess my morals are different than some people's morals of business. I don't know. Some big corporations think it's best to have really high attrition and keep firing everybody and spending all that money for training when it could be better used elsewhere. I don't know. I guess I'm not a multi-billionaire CEO of a company, and what do I know, right? Right. So, I was just minding my business, and I got called in by my operations manager, and she said that they were doing mass layoffs, and that 16 supervisors had to go back on the floor instead of, just laying us off or giving us the option to get severance pay. They went cheap AF and just put us back on the floor, and she promised that we would have our suit pay still of the $17.50 an hour. But at this time, I'd already been there for 6.5 months supervising, and I still didn't have my pay increase. She kept promising me that it would happen. And so I was really upset, but what could I do? They did offer me to take a vacation because I hadn't taken one. I wanted to take a full 2 weeks vacation. They said no. They only would give me 1 week. So I went ahead and took the week vacation, and I was a mess. Like, I can't explain how much of a mess I was. And I know better. Like, I know the law of attraction. I know how to utilize emotion and unconscious thought. And everybody falls, you know what I mean? Sometimes. Everybody falls sometimes. But it's really weird, because once you fall and you get stuck in that rut, like I was stuck in bed. I was miserable, and I just couldn't seem to pull myself up. I felt like they had taken my foundation from beneath me and cracked it with like a sledgehammer or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? Trying to find a metaphor for it, but I felt like they had just shook my entire foundation up, and I was just hanging on by a thread, and I was so scared that they were gonna fire me. And I just started thinking, so what? So what? And I mean, and they said that they would keep us at our suit pay, which was good, but then they said that they were going to drop it back down. So literally I got suit pay for 2 weeks with no back pay, which was great. Anybody could be so happy to work for a company like that. Right. Anyways, but like it kind of messed with my head, and so I had like called off. I needed some extra time off, and then when I came back from my PTO, I like used up my PTO. I did do that. I went to go log in, and like they send us out a computer to work from home with, because this is a work from home job, but it's an employee. It's not like an I-9 or a contract job. And so I went to go log in, and the computer was like completely locked like down. It wouldn't open. It was like all discolored. And so I had to take an additional 2 weeks off that weren't paid. So that really hit home, cause me and my man to argue. Couples argue a lot about money when times are tough. There was a lot of arguing kind of going on. I kind of felt like my life was falling apart, and I felt this like deep, it was depression. I was severely depressed. Like, I did not want to move out of bed. I didn't want to upload to my other YouTube channels. I couldn't force myself to get in front of the camera. I just felt so helpless. And then I was like victimizing myself. And I realized it was yesterday that I finally realized 3 months of this in the rabbit hole yesterday. I realized that I'm going to take action, because I know the law of attraction. I know how it works and how quickly it can work. And I know, how bad it can go south if you're having those negative thoughts and you're constantly living in that moment of negativity. And so I know I needed to do something. So what I did was I spent some time and I meditated. I meditated long and hard, like for a long time. I actually fell asleep, and it was probably the best sleep I've had in the last 90 days since this has all been kind of going on. And I just felt so rejuvenated, and I felt so happy, like all that shame, all that guilt, all that ego issues that I was having, all that pain, all that, I was angry. I was so angry, I was lashing out, all that. I kind of released it and kind of told myself that it was going to be okay, And I actually had a job interview yesterday, and I just kept picking myself up. I was like, and it was a long shot. I was very underqualified, but very underqualified. I don't even have the degree that I need for this job. And it's to be a social worker, or like a therapist is what the job is. It's like a social worker / therapist, and it's licensed for where I'm at. And I'm definitely underqualified. I have courses that have not been done in college yet. I am about 6 credits shy of my bachelor's degree, and it does require a bachelor's degree for that. But I kept telling myself, I'm going to ace this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get this job offer. This is going to happen, like my life is changing, and I know this is going to happen. Like, and I kept telling myself, I know this is going to happen. And I started being appreciative, like my family, of my man that is the love of my life. Like, he is the love of my life. I manifested him into my life. I manifested my soulmate into my life a long time ago. a long time ago, and we've been inseparable since, like best friends. So I know how this works. And guess what? I went to that interview yesterday and I got offered the spot within 10 minutes of the interview. And they're going to pay for my therapist license, and they are going to pay for everything that I need. And I'm going to be like state licensed therapist in my state. They're going to pay for everything, the extra little schooling that I need, everything. And I start in August. But if, oddly enough, I come home and I saw that my operations manager had called me, because I did call in for the last 2 hours of my shift because I had that interview. And I had a missed call and I was texting her, and she sent me a Dear John type termination letter. And, had I not picked myself up from that, had I not accepted everything and took action and went to that job interview and stayed positive about it and just aligned myself with the universe to receive instead of wallowing in my self-pity like a sorry ass like I was. And I'm not saying if other people do it, you know what I mean, that's what they are. Don't think that at all, because that's not what I think or how I feel. I'm just saying for me, that's how I felt, So don't come up on here, oh, Crystal Doll, you said this. No. Let's leave that hate comment off this channel. It's not where it's supposed to be. But, had I not picked myself up in that type of way, I would be in a pretty bad spot when I received that email. But because I had accepted everything and I realized that the universe or God is never going to give you more than you can handle, and that's very true. And there's always going to be a door that opens. A door shuts behind you, another door is going to be open. You're not going to just be stuck unless you keep that mindset and keep yourself there, because you're the only one that can hold you back. You're responsible, your own fulfillment, your own desires, your destiny is in the grasp of your own hands. I'm giving you and telling you how powerful you are, and it's up to you to change the things about you. It's up to you to create your universe. It's up to you to stay positive and bring more positivity in your life. Like attracts like. So, and the universe is unbiased. You want to be nasty in your head. You want to be like I was, wallowing in self-pity. Self-pity is going to find you. More emotional things, more pain is what you're bringing to yourself. More heartache, more fights. And whether you think about it or not, and you're bringing that to you. But the second you can stay positive and you can align yourself back into that positive nature of yourself and just be happy and just be filled with love and just be filled with joy, and everything's going to start ricocheting back over. Like magnets. Like you turn a magnet one way, and have it on one way, but you do just a little bit of shift of like the chain of magnets, it's going to pull everything back into alignment. You're going to be aligned to receive again, and it's not going to take long, but you just make sure that you align yourself and you stay positive and just know that what you're asking is going to come. And just know, I don't know, I guess just the moral of the story is be positive, stay happy, be strong, love yourself, and all the good will follow.